be able to defend it. The DRS seems very powerful here. T-Money now into the DRS range of this group. And really, say Joshua, Beck, those guys behind, it's not going to take them long to catch up, and they're very capable drivers as well. Well out of position, but I mean, we got a hell of a battle starting here. We're going to have nearly the entire field racing for P5. And I'm here for
it. Yeah, for sure. And now, I don't know if you mentioned, I think you mentioned Fuzz, but Fuzz is right there with them. And so is Lunar. And
yeah,
then,
but T-Money and Seye and Joshua and Beck are right there too. Like, those guys are going to be in striking distance as these guys squabble.
Interesting too, the mixed tire compounds within this battle as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Zem, this is super important. Right on the cusp of breaking that DRS. He absolutely needs to get that gap over 1 second if he wants a chance to hang on to P5.
Oh, Luna almost into the back.
Drivers in the mix here. Yep.
Almost into the back of Fuzz. Nice job avoiding it. Yes, I'm not quite able to break that DRS. I wonder if his mediums are starting to give him a little bit of an issue. I wouldn't.
I was thinking medium guys are going to start to have some drop-off soon.
I think, I was going to say, I took the mediums to about 40% in 11 laps. So a lot of guys are very uncomfortable when it gets into the 30s and the 40s. So it's entirely possible that this is creating a little issue for them.
Oh, sliding there for Zep, Fuzz. Got Lunar and T-Money now closing in on Fuzz as well, so this battle's starting to heat up a little bit. Looking at the rest of the field, Adri just kind of hanging on to Janet, Zem, obviously we can see just trying to get away from Rockstar just ahead of this group. So I'm going to I think I'm going to take the stuff off the screen for a minute and just kind of give us some nice broadcast shots of this racing here, because I don't think we really need to watch much. We know this is the battle right now. So let's clear the screen and
Say looking to make a move here, coming down the back straight on Wreck Driver. Wreck Driver has DRS as well, so I don't think Say can pull it off.
No, not quite. Get back to the group up front. Mongo's being pressured by Rockstar still. Can't quite get away. And we got Asylum in the mix there as well. Fuzz, Lunar, T-Money, Wreck, Say, that's becoming a pretty tasty little battle now as well. Do we have a yellow flag? I see some green flags now.
Not on my screen. Adri really pressuring Rockstar here, and Rockstar's not far off of the back of Zem either.
Adri, you say?
Yeah, Adri's P6 looking to. This is quite a little battle.
He was up front with Janet.
Well, he's not. He's in
he's in
P6.
That was the yellow flag.
It's entirely possible, because now he's fallen back to nearly a second.
Nothing there for Asylum. Asylum running another nice race though. He was solid last week. And running in P7, putting pressure on. He's right in the mix there. So having another good outing here tonight.
Always got to root for my fellow New Englander.
The first medium guy in the pits, T-Money.
See if he had any damage. Not that I could see. Looks like just a tire change onto the hards.
I think, I mean, he could be looking for an undercut. He was right in that pack, wasn't he?
Yes, he was right behind, was it Wreck Driver?
Yeah, no, Say, I believe. He was in that group there. Either way, like, I mean, I think an undercut actually could work here with the group being stuck racing one another. Just like I was going to say, the tires, what, we go 12 on the medium and 17 on the hard. That kind of seems like the right balance, right?
Yep. But I really, like Jinnit last week, I wouldn't be surprised if Jinnit is playing this to extend the wear on those mediums.
Oh, absolutely. He's not catching Brian that quickly, and he's easily pulling away from Zem still, so Jinnit can easily stretch this out and go to the softs at the end and then become a threat again.
Oh, whoa, Packer almost.
Last week.
Wow. Packer coming out of turn 2 or 3. Really got shaky.
We got a bunch of guys pitting now. Zem, Asylum, Lunar, all into the pits. Oh, sorry, not Lunar. I was going to say that would have been bad. Fuzz into the pits.
Hard tires.
Yeah, looks like everybody going hards. Makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm thinking these mediums.
Rockstar got by Zimagos quite easily. I was thinking those mediums were pretty much done at that point.
Yep, Vinny Clip's going to the hards as well. So the medium drivers are now in the minority. There's only 4 of them left. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hard compound drivers have yet to box. They started on those, so those 6 there.
I was going to say, if there's a safety car and we have yellows, somebody out? No, it looks like they're okay. It could be a BSC maybe for debris, but looks like they got out of it alright, so I was going to say, if there's a safety car and you're on the hards, you're laughing now, right?
Yeah.
It's the risk you run with, but at the same time, there's a big risk. There was a safety car on lap 7 and you're on the hards, you put yourself in a pretty risky spot, right? If you do pit. The rest of the medium guys will be coming in. Brian stays out, it looks like.
Yeah, Brian, Jinnit, and Adri have all stayed out.
I mean, if you're in this group when you know that the guys behind aren't really putting pressure on you, you're on mediums now, why not just hold out? You get a safety car,
yeah.
You even extend to the soft spin.
Absolutely. I'm thinking the same thing. If nobody's really pressuring you, stay on these mediums as long as you feel comfortable. Push it just a little bit in terms of maybe get a little uncomfortable with it, but if that can get you bridge the gap to the softs, why not?
Yeah. And I would think if you're on the medium still, I mean, even the guys in the hards can go to the softs, right?
I would think, yes. I would think that these guys that have started on the hards and still on them 13 laps, I would think that they could easily go to the softs. They still have to go a few more laps, but...
Yeah, I think you go 19, 20 on the hards, you're getting the softs to the end.
The mediums, you might have to come in a little earlier and then be dealing with a little more tire wear on the softs at the end. However, it's still, at this point, I don't think there's any benefit to the medium tire drivers going to the hards.
Packer is pit to the
pitting.
mediums. I don't think there's no point in Packer taking any risks tonight. Brian, though, is pitting. He is going to hards, I presume.
Well,
yes. Jinnit, Brian, everybody's pitting.
Everybody.
Off the medium, except for Andrew stayed out. So
he did, yeah.
Andrew listening to us and thinking, yeah,
maybe.
Because Wreck Driver on 14 lap old hards with say pressuring isn't really going to bother you. But those guys need to pit as well, and if you can maintain a gap to them.
What's going on coming out of... Is that Beck? Yeah,
Looks
that
like
kind of moment. He's
there's
okay
also
though.
a Red Bull. Red Bull's gone around in a Haas car, it looks like, as well.
Ooh,
So is that Razor and RC at the back there?
we got that Razorback. Yeah, I don't know if his wing is intact or not.
Yeah, he's not having a great night. He's actually been pretty solid the first few races of the season, but struggling now. And there goes Wreckdiver, makes a big mistake. Seye through. So that's not good news for Adri. And Joshua putting some pressure now.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. Really surprised. I expected some of these guys to go to the softs. Really did.
The
But
hard,
like you said,
yeah. Well, I mean, there's still a bunch of hard drivers out there that could do it.
yeah, I totally agree with you though. Packer has no reason to try to,
Yeah.
risk anything at all. Just wow, what's
Bring it
going
home
on
at this
here?
point. Adri's pit
Say
going to hards.
Say looking to wow, Say what a save. He was looking to get around Wreck Driver, compromised his line a little bit, got a little loose, and Mr. Joshua took over, and so did Brian Scott.
So I'm thinking wreck. I think if you're still out there on the hards, you're thinking softs now.
You better be,
I
or
think
else.
so. Janet's got a penalty now.
Not bad. Huh? Only 2 penalties to this point.
Yeah, I guess there's not really room to cut. There's walls over there.
You're right. Well, although the chicanes, like right here where I'm with Wreck Driver, and up here can be, I think you can get a few warnings.
There's definitely a few places, but there's not a lot of places you can run wide and get away with it. Like you're not going to keep going. Like, you can't cross track limits here, right?
Right. You can't cut corners, really.
There's no room. No. Track limits more so, I would think, than corner cutting is definitely doable, but extending track limits doesn't really. It's not going to happen a lot of places where you're like running wide on an exit, like you're in a wall if you're running wide. And to be honest, I'm surprised we haven't had a single DNF yet.
Nope.
And no safety cars. There is a Sector 3 yellow as I say that, though. Or just a spin.
That looks like it might have been Vinny Clips.
And we got Joshua, Brian making his way through on fresh hards. Joshua and Wreck have stayed out on softs. Seye has pit. Or sorry, stayed out on hards. Seye has pit to mediums, which obviously makes sense. I mean, like, how many more laps do the guys on hards really need to go? Like 2, 3 maybe to go to the softs in the end?
Yeah.
Like, Razor took him 10 laps and he was spinning around and stuff, so they're obviously not going to burst on you or anything.
No, I would think that the hard compound can go at least 5 laps longer than the mediums. The medium tire drivers took them to, what, lap 14, 15. So you would think that the hards can get you to lap 20. And you should be able to take the softs the rest of the way.
So Brian has made it through. So he's in the clear now. He's got Rockstar ahead of him who needs to pit. And he's well off the pace of Packer, but he's posting into an easy P2 at this point. The guys around him all need to pit. Jinnit behind could be a threat. But he's a fair ways off with a penalty, so I think Brian has too much to worry about.
No, and again, I think the reality is, however, that this is a track from the few laps that I put on it that can really jump out and grab you, bite you, just spin you around. So, I mean, as comfortable as Packer might be, I mean, if he gets a little loose and slides, spins out, I mean, you got Brian and right there. So
yeah, so
I don't think anybody can rest.
Wreck and Joshua are still out there, so I'm saying they're going for softs now. Zem had an issue, slid down the order. He was racing Asylum, had a spin in the final turn, and he's gone down to P12 now, so he's got some work to do. Wants to get back in the points.
Let's see. Position changes. Team Money up 7 positions, and Lunar Jedi up 6, Wreck Driver up 5. Unfortunately, the biggest losers are Say down 9 and Adri down 8. Now I imagine that'll change once these guys ahead of them start to pit.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely Wreck Diver with the... He's going to lose those 5 places once he does pit, so...
And he's staying out. And so is Josh.
Yeah, so...
But Rockstar pit. My bad. Rockstar did box. What's he going to go on to? The mediums. Wow.
Interesting. I mean, it could be just... I don't know, maybe they just always were going to the mediums and holding out for a safety car or something, but... At this point, I'd even say he's going to get ahead of Joshua and Wreck.
Oh, Packer with a penalty. Oh, his lead is in jeopardy now.
Yes. He might have to pit to serve it and then still win the race.
Well, you know, I'm here to watch a great race, hang out with you, comment on the race, but also I'm here to learn. So seeing these guys stay out. Wow.
Yeah, it was dicey. T-Money going to the outside on Rockstar and just couldn't quite finish the move. He was very close though. Had very good closing speed, and perhaps down this back straight here you have a better chance at it.
Yeah, Rockstar's going to have
lost a lot of time trying to make that move.
Yeah, so he's on, 7-lap old hards, and Rockstar's on the mediums. They're going to be just weaving around.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Rockstar should really pull away shortly.
Ooh, I think he tapped the wall in the back end. Rockstar, I don't think he got any damage. Yeah, Rockstar. Yep. I don't think it was hard enough to cause any damage.
So Wreck and Josh stayed out again, so...
Alright. And RC is on 17-lap old hards. He can't be going to the end. I imagine, though, he has met the obligation of 2 different tire compounds.
Yeah. Oh, here it comes. Yellow flags. No one out, though. Just a little spinner collision. Somebody had, was it Beck? Looks like had an error as well as Razor.
Well, there goes Beck around. A little pirouette into the wall. Lost part of his front of his wing. Backing up, and yeah, Beck's gonna have to box. Unfortunately, he's got a long ways to go.
Yeah, he's already had a spin on this lap too. I'll be surprised if he puts it in the wall before the end of the end. Might be it. We're very close to not having a single DNF tonight. I would hope that he doesn't just park it, but I can understand.
So Josh is boxing.
Yeah, I think he had to.
The Wreck Driver stayed out.
Stayed out. He's holding out the safety car, I guess. Adri goes super deep in the that final little hairpin, nearly into the wall, so he lost a ton of pace there.
Thank you, Josh. He went on to the softs. So I would imagine then that Wreck Driver is going to do the same thing. I mean, again, I think it was...
Comes Fuzz, though, very close to Joshua. How close is it going to be? I think Joshua should be okay here. Check in with Wreck. Imagine Joshua getting an undercut, and he'll probably be ahead of Wreck now. Soft tires should work pretty fast. Comes Jinnit on Wreck Driver. Oh, Say's out. There's the yellow. No. Or is it in the pits? And back. They both just went in together, it looks like. Decided to call it a night. Yeah, that's interesting. Both of them in the pits at the same time.
Wow.
And they ruined our perfect night. We could have had every driver finish, but you guys
No.
had to cop out.
Zem is really starting to hound Fuzz. I think Fuzz made a couple bad comments in Discord there, and I think Zem's gonna like put him to task.
Yeah, he's coming for him. He wants that point.
Wow, Fuzz has got some great straight line speed.
Yeah. Tough to defend. Here comes Rat. Pitting onto those softs. Joshua, I think, should sail right by him by a large margin. Wreck lost a ton of time staying out that extra lap.
Ooh,
oh no, look at this!
Not that much.
Oh my god, I thought I guess the pit exit cuts a lot of the track because he was right there. That was insane.
Yeah, there is a little... Yeah, they... Coming out of the pits is a smooth right-hander where if you look at the track map, it's more of a major kink coming on the track. That was a little closer than I expected.
So Rockstar's got fresh mediums and he's got Asylum on older cards ahead, so this could be an interesting little battle for the next few laps. So keep an eye on this.
I really like this, not necessarily, not a fan of the slow speed, but I really like the new technical aspect that a driver has to learn, basically. Slow speed, going through these turns and whatnot.
Yeah. Here comes Rockstar, and he's through, and I don't imagine that Asylum on the older hard tires is going to have much of a chance to get that back, but see if he can hang with them.
Yeah, no, Asylum's looking at a very strong finish here. He just needs to get it to the end. So no need to really battle too hard.
T-Money as well, but I think he's going to be looking in those mirrors soon at Joshua and Wreck coming through the field pretty quickly on those softs. So T-Money should be able to help his teammate Asylum hold on to that P5 easily, but T-Money could be under threat by the end of the race.
It'd be really nice to see Ferrari finish 5-6, I guess. Yeah, I don't see them catching up to Rockstar. However, they're doing quite well this week.
Yeah, having them both a solid night. Asylum going home with P5 and T-Money. Asylum's had a pretty solid start to the season actually, so we'll be able to keep building on that and probably put himself in a really strong finish for the
Asylum.
Standings.
Asylum just burned his entire battery going down that back straight, so he is pushing.
Yeah, I think he's got to be.
I think he heard you.
Rockstar. Well, I think he wants to keep with Rockstar, keep that DRS. He also needs to know that those guys on the softs are coming from behind and potentially going to be a threat by the end.
Wow, Brian Scott has made up nearly 4 seconds on Packer in the last couple laps. What's going on there?
I'd imagine Packer, you know,
going easy?
9-lap old medium's probably not feeling great. I mean, he's probably just backed off a bit, taking it easy, just to make sure he brings it home. I mean, if he makes a mistake here and has to pit for a wing, then he's probably lost the race, right?
But maybe. I you know, that's one thing I didn't check and I meant to, was the pit delta.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as long as last week.
No, I'd say it's like 25 seconds roughly.
Well, last week it was like 31.
But for a wing change, right? It's another 8. And then he's got to get ahead of Chinnit and Brian. So I'm sure he'd probably be fine, but
what do we got?
Do you have
Sector 3? I don't see it.
Yeah, it's Zamoglis.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Another error, so I think he's gone into the pits and he's probably done for the night, I guess.
And we'll see. I'm riding on board with him. It looks like a swing. Oh, he lost an end plate. No, maybe not. He's just pit for the softs. Nice. Glad he stayed in the race.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I figured he was frustrated because he had another moment and just went into the pits to retire, but
You know, I guess, excuse me, um, he could be looking to steal the fastest lap from the point boys.
yeah, I think he's probably capable of doing it, but he's just not going to get a point for it.
No,
So,
he won't get a
is it
point, but
worth
he
it?
would take it away from somebody else getting it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he would.
Let's
Joshua's
play the
getting a nice
spoiler,
move
so
on
to speak.
Adri. So here he comes. He's got clear air now to T-Money and Asylum.
Who's that ghosted in front of Wreck Driver in the Red Bull?
RC probably?
Yeah, maybe it is because he's,
He's about the lap. He's about a
yeah,
lap behind Lunar, right? Or would you say Wreck? Yeah.
Rex. Yeah, I think you're right. So he's probably seen the blue flags. Let me ride on board with him. And yeah, there goes Rex.
So Joshua not really making up the time on T-Money that I suspected he would. I wonder if the softs are already starting to fall off a little bit, because he is being pressured again by Adri behind. Adri actually has a shot at this into the corner. He's alongside. Looking for that switchback maybe underneath, but also so is Wreck. Wreck on those soft tires looking for a move.
Man, what a lonely race for Packer.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I haven't even looked at him all race, the poor guy.
Yeah, he was just going through the chicane there towards the end of Sector 2 and struggled a little bit for Packer. I mean, probably that's an ace for me, but he struggled through it for him. And he's increased his lean.
Absolutely hounding Adri here. He's all over the gearbox. Watching Joshua slowly get away. He's trying to do everything he can to get through here.
We might have him. If you can get to the inside. Nope, nope, nope. Adri's blocking that. Very smart.
He's looking for the line.
Oh, he might.
Nice job from
He got it.
That was a really solid move.
Yeah.
He left Adri enough space, but he put the squeeze on and got the move done. So.
And yeah, and Adri didn't.
There.
Yep. And Adri was gracious enough that once he realized he lost the position, he didn't try to force a bad move.
Yeah, Adri getting a solid toe down the straight now, so not the worst timing to get past. Double slipstream there.
I really enjoy that when, not that anybody likes to be passed, but it's nice to see when somebody is overtaken that oh, who's that went deep?
That's a ghosted car, I think.
Was it? It's just nice to see that when you are being overtaken, if you've lost the position, just let it go graciously and you know, refocus and try to get it back. You don't try to out of anger try to block the guy and compromise his race and your race and anybody else that might be around you. So I really like seeing that where Adri, it appeared to me from, I was with Rockstar, I'm sorry, Wreck Driver, it seemed like, oh my.
Speaking of Wreck, here he goes around the outside, Joshua.
Yeah.
Same move, 2 laps in a row, and it's done again.
Yep, and again, same deal. The driver that's being overtaken is not being I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, you can say it.
Not being an asshole. You just fucking. You just say, okay, hopefully I can get you back.
Yep. Oh, we're getting 4.5s again. Yeah, no puff today. No puff. Yeah, Joshua's seeming to struggle on these softs a little bit. They just don't seem to be working for him very well, because Adri is now back in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured they would have been pulling away, so I think the real threat here, Wreck 2 seconds to T-Money ahead. I think
Packer boxed,
quite
by the
safe.
way.
Yeah, he did. And he's still 11 seconds ahead. Did Brian make an error and give him that gap? Because that seems
I don't know.
oddly large for having just pit. I figured he would be behind still.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I don't know. It surprised me. I looked up and there was an 11-second interval, and then I looked over and I saw Packer had stopped. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we missed it.
Well, Brian's gap to Janet's about the same, so maybe not.
Oh, great point. Yeah, because it was about 5.5, so. And it remains.
You know what? If you look at the pit lane on the map, it is really short. Maybe it is a quick pit here. Because he had, what, 23 seconds? He's not getting a 10-second pit stop, so...
I think it was back up to 26.
Yeah, where did he get that time? 18 seconds, I guess?
You know, I wonder if Packer was listening. Because Packer just set the fastest lap reset. Actually, I don't know if Zem was able to take that away or acquire the fastest lap, but Packer just took it back if he had.
Okay, so the charge is on. Wreck Diver has 1.3 seconds to make up, to get by T-Money, and we've seen him make a move in the middle of the lap a couple times in a row, and he's going to be in that striking distance again. So we'll look behind, we see Joshua being pressured by Andrew, but we got Wreck Diver closing in on T-Money. Asylum will be well safe here. This is really, can T-Money hang on to that P6? I'm sure he'd love to, but Wreck Diver has something to say about it, and he is charging. So as we come to the final lap here, we already know who's going to win. Let's take some junk off the screen. Let's just watch some solid racing here. We've got Andrew pressuring Joshua behind, and we also have Wreck Diver looking to make a move on T-Money on the final lap of the Miami Grand Prix. Let's see what he can do. Doesn't have the DRS into his favorite spot here, so he's probably going to have to try and get a good exit and get a run down the back straight. Adri not quite close enough at the moment, but definitely in striking distance. See what Wreck Diver can do. Maybe those softs have seen better days at this stage. Should have the DRS. I don't think he does. No, he doesn't. So Wreck Diver doesn't get the DRS, but Joshua and Adri do. Could Joshua make a final lap move, potentially, to get back into P7? He's close, but... Oh, super deep on the brakes! And I don't know if that was to evasive action, or did Wreck Diver move late?
All right. Super excited, Ferrari boys. My New Englander and fellow New Englander and peer, PWR Asylum, and then T-Money all day. That's been helping me out a long time. He's been part of this league for a long time. We've been friends for a long time, so very happy to see him up in the points again.
Yeah, T-Money was a really solid night. And Packer wins it. Never really looked in doubt. We got Brian P2. See if we can get the fastest lap up. Where is it?
No, that's
That's the fastest lap. Position change. Yeah, so we know Packer got it.
amazing. No, I predicted 2 safety cars. What an idiot. None. 0.
Yeah, none. No safety cars. The only retirements were done in the pits. No one actually crashed on track.
And no VSC.
Yeah, that was a really solid night. Really, really solid racing. And the formation lap didn't screw us out of the race start. Just, what a great night for F1.
Yep.
Great night
That's
for
awesome.
COR. Yeah, it was solid. That was a really solid race. Lots of good action from start to finish. Obviously, a little bit of field spread. We didn't, it would be my dream come true if we had 20 cars all racing nose to tail, but we can't get that every week. We never will. And having multiple battles to watch, for 29 laps is always a gift. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I think we're spoiled at times here.
We wouldn't have been able to cover all the gaps, all the battles.
All right.
And I think only 2 penalties, right? Only 2 drivers with penalties.
4, it looks like, had penalties.
4.
So Packer Packer with the fastest lap. Brian takes home P2, Jinnit third, Rockstar fourth, Asylum fifth, T-Money sixth, Wreck Diver seventh, Joshua eighth, Adri finishes ninth, Fuzz picks up a point as a reserve, nice job. Lunar 11th, Vinny 12th, and then Zem, RC, Razor, Beck, and Say round out the rest of the field. Not a great night for any of those drivers down there. Say really his first bad race of the season, which not surprising in a track he probably is unfamiliar with. I'm sure he'll bounce back next week, but it's a rough result for a few guys there. And ready for some interviews, so get these guys invited to the party. And good old Jinnit. Oh wait, where's Jinnit? Is he offline already?
I don't think so. Jinnit's not one.
Online, but I'll throw him. Looks like he might have shut it down. Oh, there he is. Oh.
There he is.
Ooh.
Well, he was third, so you can kick it off with Jinnit if you'd like.
All right, Jinnit. Great job, buddy.
Yeah,
Before we talk about the race, I want you to give me your opinion of the track.
That chicane at the end of Sector 2 needs to be gone. That's the only problem. That's my only concern. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's not bad. Okay, cool.
No.
So we can't watch everybody. You make any mistakes out there tonight that you felt, damn it, that cost me a position or?
In the first stint, I lost the car and nearly took Adri with me. Adri pretty much had to come to a standstill, I think, or swerve away. I had a few dodgy incidents, but I kept it out of the wall, kept it on track. But yeah, I just didn't have the pace that Brian had today.
Now, were you able to really push, or were you driving kind of tentatively? Given that it's a new track and you're probably not all that comfortable with it, but so what was your approach?
Just finish, get no
damage.
Finish. Try and get no damage and finish as high as possible.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, because none of us have really had the chance to drive this, and there are a lot of spots that seem very slippery if you're a little eager on the throttle. And I think we did catch one. Oh, go ahead.
It's basically for the no traction control. Coming out the last corner, it can be absolutely horrible. You've probably seen on stream a few people lose it coming out the last corner.
Yep. So, congratulations really to the entire field. There were no VSCs and no safety cars. So, and I think Bigger just pointed out there was only 4 drivers with penalties. So, a great night really for Tier 1 at a track that is really new to everybody. So, congratulations, Jinnit. Great job. P3. Nothing to be disappointed at this new track. So, we'll see you next week, buddy.
Cheers. I'll catch you later, guys.
See ya. Now, Brian, I'm going to have the same question for you. Just your opinion of the track, regardless of how you raced it. What do you think of the track?
Yeah, definitely going to be a hot take here, but I love this track. My favorite sector is actually the chicane that Jinnit absolutely despises.
Okay.
That's a complete lie. I don't mind it though. I do actually really like it. I think it does stink for overtaking, but it just means you got to get the move done before that. But I really like the track. It's fun.
Do you? How do you feel about that technical, the double chicane essentially at the end, towards the end of Sector 2 before the back straight? Is that one of the sectors that you really, one of the parts of the track you really enjoy driving through, or?
Yeah. Like, it's really weird, but for whatever reason, I really like that area. I'm quick through there. I think I know how to take the right line, and like, I don't know. I do enjoy it. That's where I gained a lot of my time, I noticed, on people. So it's definitely, it's a tricky sector, and I understand, or section, and I know why people don't like it, but I personally really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I expected that. I felt that that was one of those areas that guys, it would be a bottleneck. The guys that were a little bit slower through that part would really hinder the guys that were really good at going through it. And however, if you, for instance, that like to go through there, you would never really be threatened, and that's where you would make up all your time, so long as you got a great exit coming out of that. But yeah, that is a very, very tricky area, and I don't think we had any major incidents going through that area. So again, like I mentioned, Janet, I mean, hats off to you guys. That's awesome that there were really no major incidents. So really, I was surprised. Nobody went hard to soft except for, I think, was it Josh and somebody else?
Josh and Rex.
Josh and Rex. Was that part of your plan at all, or were you always going to be going, medium to hard, or I forget what you started on, but...
Yeah. I did some practice. I did a lot of practice, and I kind of knew what my strategy was going to be, so I knew I was going medium hards. I planned it from the beginning because I really thought, well, not really thought, but I expected there to be a safety car fairly early. We did not get that, surprisingly, but I'm not complaining about it, but the softs are good. They do wear out pretty quick. Not as quick as we had in Imola, but definitely very quick, and I just didn't want to risk it being maybe a lap or two after I would have pit for softs, or pit from the softs that a safety car comes out.
Right. Yeah, again, we really were, Big and I was talking about it as the laps went by and guys were still on the hards at 16, 17, 18 laps. We thought, okay, these guys are stretching it to the softs most likely, yet I think 6 out of the 8, we'll say, went to the mediums. But, that everything worked out. I mean, the driving was phenomenal. Obviously, no safety cars, no VSCs. There were some spins. Guys were able to avoid contact with other cars for the most part. So all in all, great week for Tier 1. And so, Brian, congratulations on your podium for P2. And we'll see you next week for sure.
Thank you.
Now, welcome back, Packer.
Hello.
My condolences, first and foremost, for I believe you had a loss in your life.
Yeah.
So my condolences there. Congratulations on P1. You was really never in doubt. Was it boring out there?
I mean, a little bit. I don't particularly like this track. I absolutely despise everything bar like half of the first sector, so yeah, it did get a little boring just trying to find my way through, but I did have a little bit of spin towards the end of the race, and then going for the fast lap made it a little more interesting.
So did you execute the plan as you wanted to, or was going to pitting for the softs at the end just gravy?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I probably, after looking at my gap on the hards when it came time to pit for the mediums, I probably should have pit a little bit earlier, just because my mediums would have been a lot better than, because most people started on mediums, my mediums would have been a lot better than their hards at the time, so yeah, I probably should have pit a little bit earlier, but besides that, yeah, went pretty well.
So were you surprised that most of the guys, or a lot of the guys, started on the mediums? And if you knew that was the case, would you have started on the mediums, or were you sticking to the hards no matter what?
I probably should have started on the mediums in the first place, but I didn't really think about it. The strategy I did on Saturday, started on hards and was expecting really no safety cars or anything to interrupt my strategy. And then if anything, I was expecting a safety car today, but we didn't get one. And I went under on fuel, and I was saving fuel most of the first stint, just lifting off a little bit before corners or just using higher gears in general. Overall, the entire stint, just to get that, whatever, 0.2 laps of fuel that I went under with.
Uh, Great point. I never considered, I don't know if Bigger did, but yeah, because there were no safety cars, guys that might have been banking on that may have gone with a little less fuel, may have affected their race because there were no safety cars, no VSCs, nothing. So, yeah, interesting. Could have affected a lot of the guys that finished a little bit lower down the field. And maybe they were doing the same thing, lifting off. Well, congratulations. You missed, I believe, 2 weeks. Unfortunately, we missed you. You're back, and we're happy that you're back. And a pretty much flawless race. Unfortunately, you did get a penalty.
Yeah, just a chicane. The first 2 laps I got warnings, and then after that I kind of calmed down. And then I don't remember when I got the penalty. I think it was on the mediums, like right when I pit. And I guess either cold tires or just the mediums have so much more grip than the worn hards. Like it's ridiculous. So I don't know.
All right, I'm going to hand. Congratulations again. I'll hand it over to Bigga.
Yeah, no questions here. Just another solid night of racing, and congrats to the podium guys. Appreciate you being here. As always, Tier 2 and Tier 3 will kick off Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for the Miami Grand Prix Round 4 there. And next week, Miami, where we go? Monaco next week, eh? Is that what it is?
Ooh, I hope so.
I think it is.
Spain and Monaco.
Spain. Damn it. And then we have a break. Then,
Yeah,
after the
Spain
break week.
Monaco.
Yeah, Spain break, Monaco. So we have 2 weeks off and come back to Monaco. I'm sure everyone's going to be thrilled about that one. Some people will be taking a 2-week vacation, I guess. Anyways, bragging rights, man. You win Monaco. As only say you won Monaco. Or Monaco winner, Monaco champion. So 2 weeks from now, actually I guess it'll be 3 weeks from now, it'll be Monaco. So next week, Spain. We'll be back here Monday night for that, and then we'll have a week off, except for Tier 3. In that break week, we'll be racing their Australia sprint weekend, because I had to postpone that. So, but yeah, later this week, Miami, Tier 2, Tier 3, and next week we move on to Spain before the break week for the holiday weekend. And I appreciate everyone being here. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.
See you, boys. Have a good one, Bigga.
All right, see you guys.
Oh, I'm so excited for Monaco.
See you guys.
You're the only person. I love it. I like watching the guys do Monaco, but as a driver, I can see why it's.
I enjoy it.